Hi guys, I want to give a clear, what do you call it, announcement, proclamation. I don't know the exact word I'm searching for right now, but I'll just say it point and blank. You know, whatever promise that God has designed for your life, you will have to fight for it. And you know, I remember when David showed up out of obedience to bring his brothers food, when the armies of the Lord had gone out to fight the Philistines, and Saul was the king, and they were afraid of Goliath because he was threatening them. You know, God had already given a promise to the children of Israel, and here they're being threatened. So David wasn't even going to fight that day. He was just being obedient. And so in the midst of being obedient, he heard what was going on and heard the challenge of this giant named Goliath threatening God's people. But David was a praiser long before anybody knew what he was doing. He was praising when it was just he and the sheep out there in the pasture, just him dancing and praising and singing to God. So he was already a praiser. He was already leading sheep before God ever made him king. And so even though God had anointed him to be king, he had not yet taken the throne, and it would be years before he would take that throne. And so after he put himself out there in faith and encouraged for God to use him to defeat Goliath with the stone that he had and a slingshot, after Saul found out how anointed David was and how much the people praised him and how much they cheered for him because he was a warrior. And he didn't know he was a warrior. He was tending sheep. But when Goliath made that threat against his God, the warrior in him rose up. And so I said all that to say that when God has promised you something, God may have said that he's going to bless you in a certain way, whether it be faith, family, finance, or health, your marriage, your children, your money, whatever, your ministry, whatever it is that he has promised you, that he has put in your spirit, or he has spoken over your life, or confirmed it through his word, or through using a prophetic word, whatever it is to confirm or remind you of who you are, you will have to fight, because the enemy is not going to just let you take possession of that land of your destiny without a fight. And so I just want to encourage you today that the battle is not yours, but it's the Lord's. David understood that. And so he didn't get caught up in his little strength, what he had. He stood on the word of God. And I'm challenging you today, I'm challenging all of us to stand on the word of God and understand you will have to fight, but you will win the fight. It's already won. All you have to do is show up, stay in there, fight with faith, fight with courage, lean on God, not your own understanding, and you will win the fight. But you will have to fight. You cannot get to this without a fight. It's a faith fight. It's not a fist fight. It's not a feelings fight. It's not an attitude fight. It's a faith and obedience fight. And you push. I don't care what's coming against you. You push, and because you're not fighting, you're fighting a spiritual battle. And it's the enemy trying to get you to quit and to forfeit and to abort your purpose. Do not abort purpose. You will have to fight, but it's a fixed fight and you will win. God's excited about your future. So am I.